Alright, so, alright, what was I saying? Bingo, what's his name? There's a sign for bingo that way. Or, sorry, it's right there, but it's pointing that way. There we go. Yeah, so, education. I can go ahead, start teaching, be a teacher's assistant this semester. They don't pay much. So basically I could be a teacher's assistant while, what else could I do? Like Bass Pro Shop on the weekends. So that is another idea. Basically do Bass Pro Shop on the weekends, like Saturday, Sunday, and then work as a TA, which is about 30, according to a lady who was a TA, work about 35 hours a week. So I could do that and make a little extra money, save up a bunch of money, potentially, just by doing that. Live in homeless shelters during the winter. And then, yeah. So that's basically what I could do. Save up a bunch of money. And then, I don't know, may one day be able to afford a house. From what I understand, rent nowadays is about $700 to $800. So I would want to get a place that is a little bit cheaper than that. Maybe a mortgage of like $500, $600, especially if I put down a sizable down payment. What I mean by sizable is like maybe like $10,000, $20,000. So there's actually an insurance, quote, that you can, that is put down on the house if you pay less than $20,000. Or no, I think it's 20% of the house. That insurance actually protects against the bank. So this way, if you don't pay up to like 10-20% of the loan, then they still get their money, basically. So my thing is, basically, you do not have to do any of this. I'm just like trying to think and prepare so I'm not like anxiety ridden, basically. I don't know which way to go. Or which part of the street I should stand. There we go. I'm gonna stand on this side so that way cars can see me and I can see them. So yeah. I got tissue, blew my nose, and now I'm walking back to the house. But yeah, so the idea is basically I can go ahead, save up a bunch of money, until I have about 10-20% at least. And then that way, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, my monthly mortgage will be like really cheap, like cheaper than a rent. So instead of being like, let's say, like, how much could it be? Like $900 or $1,000. I can go ahead and put money down, so that way the mortgage is only about maybe $600 at the most, because I'll have so much money saved up. How long will that take? I don't know. It might take a year or two. especially with me not like spending a lot of money. So yeah. What else is there? So there's that. And then what else are some other ideas? Those are some ideas. And then if it's like, no, I'm getting married, then that is something that I would want to discuss with my husband, of like what is okay and what's not okay. Yay, no holes yet. Okay. Cool. Discuss what is okay and what is not okay. Yeah. What's hot? Ooh, this feels good. Yeah. What is okay and what's not okay with my husband. So that could be in terms of like working. I would like to get a job that has maternity care, but the only problem with that, oh, by the way, my battery is at like 14%. The only problem with that is that usually companies that have maternity care, you have to work there a minimum of a year. But it takes like 9 months for a person to like have the baby. So either way, it takes a while. Yeah, so there's that. The other idea is that I could like maybe work seasonal jobs. What kind of seasonal job would it be? I don't know. I know there's some things where it's like you drive around like this Christmas thing, and it's around like November, December, maybe early January. So there's that. I'm sure there's other seasonal jobs out there. So yeah, work those seasonal jobs. That's another idea. Work a seasonal, like there's, what's it, Halloween City or whatever. Work that job. You know, I really should have done this like when I was walking down, is like walk on the opposite side of the road so that way people could see me. And I could see them. Humidity! Woo! But yeah, so there's another idea. Seasonal jobs, or find a job that has maternity leave. Definitely will need to find something like that. Number one thing that I want is something with retirement. I know usually federal jobs, you have benefits, you have retirement, all that jazz. So that would be something. And federal jobs, that includes teachers. So yeah, that is an option. What else? I was talking online. I was like, yeah, maternity leave is 6 weeks. And a person responded like 6 weeks. I would quit that job and like go somewhere else. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like 6 weeks is the federal mandated amount of time companies are allowed to get their employees. And it's rare if they extend it. Like, I don't think I've ever heard of that here in the USA. And someone, I was like, how long is your time for maternity leave? And they're like, 1.5 to 2 years. And that's paid. And here, usually it's like unpaid. So it's like, oh, never mind. So yeah, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I would definitely want at least something with retirement and allows maternity leave. So yeah, even if it's not a lot for retirement, it's still better than nothing, honestly. So yeah, goals. I think that's really about it. But yeah, just some ideas that I have. Hey, rolling stop. Yeah, so there's that. Either seasonal or at least something with benefits. In order to get benefits, generally you have to work there full time. If it's a seasonal job, like, I remember some people I know, even me working at the national park, some people I know, they worked a seasonal job at a water park, and because they worked a seasonal job at the water park, they didn't, what was wrong with that? Because they worked a seasonal job, they actually did not receive like health benefits, paid time off, retirement, any of that. But I talked with one lady who ended up working for their HR, and she's like, yeah, because she works, even though it was an internship, I think it was an internship, or it might have been a full-time job just to get experience. She was like, yeah, basically for our seasonal workers, because it's a water park, so they're only open for certain times of the year. She's like, yeah, they don't get any health benefits or anything like that. So it's like, oh, wow. I remember talking to one friend, and he was like, yeah, while he's working at the water park, he actually was in the best shape because he he walked around everywhere. I was like, I can see that. Because you're having to walk like a mile or 2 miles every single day, maybe. So, yeah. Anyways, I think that's really about it that I can think of. But yeah, if you see this video, it means basically I'm online. And let's see what else. But yeah, I do like the cards that the postcards that share the encouragement, and I think it's a really cool fundraiser idea. I'm really curious how it will do, just out of curiosity. It's like, okay, will this be a big hit? How much money will be made? That type of deal. So yeah, overall I think that's a really cool idea. I do. And basically also thank you for telling me trying to think how I should phrase it. Thank you for telling me that you love someone. So thank you so much for that. I do appreciate it. And I don't know, I guess, just reading that, it's like comforting and encouraging, because it lets me know, I'm kind of glad I didn't walk all the way. Oh my goodness. I wonder how far it is from here to Planet Fitness. By the time I get there, they'll probably be open. They open about 6 a.m. So yeah. But yeah, thank you for telling me so much that you love someone. Doggy! Sound the alarm! Someone's walking past.